me, built a farm, built a hospital, and built a home. Because when our elders got old during slavery, they would simply turn them out on the streets to die. How can Harry Tubman build all three of those while working as a nurse, a spy, and a scout in the Civil War, and being the most significant contributor to the Underground Railroad? What excuses do we got?
To whom much
How
is
can
given?
you have all that money and all that numbers? Two of the most important resources any institution can have: people and profit. The Black church got both.
Yeah.
Show me the measurable gains.
Yeah.
See, my issue with the Black church, it takes three things from Black people that we can't afford to waste. Too much of our time. Bible study, choir, church. I ain't got an issue with that. If you were reciprocating, you take our time, you damn sure take our money, and then you take our hope and our energy. And then with all this money and people power you got the audacity to tell us that we can't do nothing about our situation. It's in God's hands. Well, if it's in God's hands, stop collecting money then. If you can't affect Black America, don't take another donation. Make up your mind. You're either going to weaponize that money to save us, because the white man is damn sure using those bank deposits, those Black church bank deposits. They weaponizing our own against us in the education.
Good morning, beautiful ladies, wonderful gentlemen. We have an exclusive. I wasn't going to go live, but I was sitting here, just took my shower, about to get myself together, about to head out, do a little bit of shopping I need to get the product I need, so we can hustle for the day, so we can work. And I'm looking for something interesting to look on YouTube as I'm getting myself together, because I don't watch TV. And I came across the teacher, the philosopher, the king, KRS-One. KRS-One is a master of ceremony. He can entertain you whether he's rapping. He can entertain you whether he's lecturing. But one thing that you will get substance, and you will feel empowered. You will not feel belittled. You will not feel down. You will not feel embarrassed. You will feel empowered, because his message is coming from God itself. And you can tell when the messenger is delivering a message from God himself. And so when I see things and I know when I'm being spoken to, I got to tap. And I tap the button, I listen. And then I was like, whoa, I got to go live. So we are going live today because KRS-One is trying to teach the masses and try to teach this man right here. I'm going to show you the difference between a master teacher and a researcher. Because a researcher, at the end of their researching, is nothing but a complainer. A master teacher, after they finish talking or teaching, you know what you have to do. Sorry, folks, I forgot to plug in my plug, and I'm just trying to get this laptop plugged up before it goes dead. Hold on one second. I would hate for that to happen, especially when I'm right. Yeah, there we go. So when we talk about master teachers, we talk about master teacher. I don't know who's seen this video right here, but this video was sent to me, and this gentleman, he's hosting the conversation, and Umar is way over him. Let's stop sharing this. Let's present this. You need this in your system this morning, folks. This is not going to be a long live. I'm probably going to be here 30 minutes, if that. 30 minutes to maybe 45 minutes, because you know me. Let's get into it.
Let's greet Chris as we do all our visitors. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we thank God for you.
Whoa. Let me digest that. Wow. I'm going to talk to you today about choosing to be spiritually minded. And look at the phrase, choosing to be spiritually minded. This is a choice that a lot of you have made here today, just being here today. You could have been anywhere today. A lot of people are anywhere today, right now as we speak. You chose to be here. You know, a lot of times we walk into the future and we look back on ourselves. They say hindsight is 20/20. We look back on ourselves and we say, wow, I was really blessed back then. But it's always in the future. When we're going through the blessing, we never see it. Being conscious has to do with being aware of your space and time. Right now, we are blessed. Right now, in this room, we are blessed. Turn to, let's hit Mark chapter 16, verse 15. Mark chapter 16, verse 15. When you're there, say namaskar. And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Was it Mark 16, verse 15, right? And you know, this was my issue with the churches, because in my neighborhood I had way too many churches. It's a lot of real estate, a lot of land is given to the church. And when I looked at it, I'm like, you know, we have all this real estate, we got all these people going inside the doors, but who are these people? They need to come outside to the world and do some works. And so if I knew the chapter and the verse, maybe I would have stood on this as my verse. I would have probably stood on Mark 16, verse 15 for like the last 20 years of my life. And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And he said unto them, go you into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And the word creature is so amazing because, you know, when I looked at that, I was looking at the word creature, and then I'm listening to Chris talk. And, you know, I have a very analytical mind. It don't take me but like 2 seconds to hear something and be able to start analyzing it, or see something and start analyzing it. And it says, and he said unto them, go you into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And remember when I said that there was this woman, the same chick who had my, you know, sent my ID to them anyway. But there was a chick up in there, she had a dog. And she brought the dog to the painting event, and she had him in the little cage. It was not no cage, but it was a little playpen cage that the little dog couldn't get out. And the little dog would run to everybody, you know what I'm saying? The dog knew people's spirit. He ran to this person, ran to that woman, in. Everybody pet him. The dog came to me. Of course, I knew the dog had to come to me, show love. So, of course, I show love back. And, then Umar Johnson stepped into the room. And like I said, the dog went to him and ran. It walked to him instead, because like I said, it was just going to everybody. And it went to him, but then said, stop real quick. Look and jetted from him. Because he was in the spirit that can go onto the world and preach the gospel to every creature. You got to understand. That verse is something that if I was a Bible studier, if I was a researcher and I was into the word and into the Bible, like so many of these researchers, we have a lot of researchers now looking for knowledge. If I was a knowledge seeker and I was a reader of the book, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not, because I allow myself to get the message directly from my brain cells. Okay. But when I see a verse, it just confirms. This is why I'm doing this live, because this verse right here confirms on the mission. When I heard Chris talk, I was like, whoa, this is powerful. I must go live. And he said unto them, go ye into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. Now let's let Chris finish. This video is 18 minutes. Okay, folks, 18 minutes. 19 minutes.
In the long, it says to creation. And he said unto them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. Go ye into all the world. Stop there. Go ye into all the world. I'm spiritual. You told me to get out of the world. Oh, here's the command right here. Go into the world, not into your church. Oh, man. Go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature, not every Christian. It didn't say preach to every Jew, preach to every Muslim. It didn't even say preach to every human being. It said preach the gospel to every creature. Now stop here. Just meditate on this now for a minute. We're told by Christ here to go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. What gospel is that? If I'm supposed to go into the world and preach this gospel to every creature, or as the Lamsa version says, all creation, that means the gospel is beyond words. That means that whatever the gospel is, a dog can understand it. A bird can understand it. An insect can understand. A bear can, a lion can understand. Go preach the gospel to every creature. So we sat here and we thought about it. We said, well, what gospel would every creature in nature understand? The answer, love.
You already know it.
Gospel would every creature in nature understand? The answer, love. A lot of people misinterpret that and they say, preach the gospel to every creature, and they pick up their book and start talking. It's not the instruction. The instruction says every creature. A dog understands a pat on the back. A cat understands a bowl of milk. A bird understands bread, seeds, care, compassion, affection. Every creature understands love. So whatever the gospel is,
that was the word.
It's not words.
It's not words, folks. That's what I'm saying. That
whatever is go and preach the gospel. Obviously, this is some kind of an activity. Something we supposed to be doing.
Yo, I was with this all morning. I was like, wow. I seen it 2 seconds. I got the words already. What we supposed to be doing. Not talking, nigga.
Be doers of the word. Be doers of the word. Love. When you decide to live spiritually minded, you will notice that you ain't got no choice. Love swells up in your heart. Matter of fact, some of the reasons why you choose to be spiritually minded is because you don't even understand yourself. You say, man, I have this feeling of just love. I mean, I like people. I want to, I'm always trying to help. Every time somebody got a problem, they calling me. Hello, somebody in here. You gonna go home right now, phone line. Message said, hey, I just wanted to call you to say, can you help? I need you to come and watch the kids. I need you to do it. Can you borrow some money? You guys are usually the ones helping somebody else. I got a witness in here. But look at the burden, as I mentioned, the first step. Look at the burden of that. You're weighed down because you are in the spirit, but you're in the world. And even though you've decided to be spiritually minded, nobody else has. And what a burden that can be. You tell somebody, your kids, your friends, whatever, your husband, your wife, don't do that. And they do it anyway. Then they come back in sorrow. And it's your burden to still help. How many times have your kids, those that have children, you said, I don't like so-and-so. So-and-so ain't no good. Why? Because you have wisdom. And you say, I've been there already with so-and-so. And so-and-so's not good. Oh, Mom, Dad, man, come on, man. You always dissing my friends. 3 months later. Oh, what happened to Johnny? Oh, man, he's whack, man. Oh, man, I lent him my shirt. He wouldn't give me my shirt back. I told him to come over and play some records, so he broke my turntable. Man, Mark, could you buy me another one? Now the burden is on you. You told so-and-so, don't go down that path. It's not good for you. They ain't listen. Now they walked down the path and gained wisdom. But the burden falls on you because the compassion and the love in your heart refuses to turn your back. So you say, come on. All right, here it is. You may give them a lecture. You may say, but here it is. My love for you, I'm still going to give no matter what. You cursed me out last week, but I'm still here. This is what it is to be spiritually minded. And it's important that we all gain strength in this. Otherwise, we will become very stressed out. We become very stressful spiritual people, if there's such a term. You'll be in the spirit and why God is, when is my day coming? Your day is there.
Listen, folks.
This is your day right here.
Listen.
The burden is on you. The cross is on you. You are innocent. You've done no wrong, but somehow you're linked up with the wrong of others.
For a reason.
Because of your love for them.
For a reason.
Don't shirk from your responsibilities.
Nah, you can't.
Don't be afraid.
Nope, can't. Let's talk.
This is what you're supposed to do.
All right, let's go.
You are the blessing in someone's life.
And that's it.
You are the blessing.
Whether it's got to be tough love.
Don't look at it as a burden.
No.
Look at it as, this is who I am. And I am that I am. I am who I am. This is me. I'm not sad.
What did I say last night? I said that in life, people are put in place in positions in people's lives for reasons. And it's to be a blessing. Whatever it is that they was going through, once they, like I said, once you come across me, it's now time for you to get blessed. And don't think that the blessed is oh, tap on your forehead and you're going to be saved. No, the blessing is tough love. To save you down the road, to wake you up, so that you don't have Johnny as a friend. You don't have Johnny the paint in your job and you take your money, take your paint and not getting the job done. Lollygagging, but not getting the job done. People are putting your life for reasons. And I told you, if this money was an investment into this man's life, for me to actually be a blessing in this man's life, meaning that I have to bring that tough love, then so be it. And if you guys be like, oh, go to court, do this, I'm like, yo, this is spiritual. This is way bigger than what y'all are seeing. And if you are seeing it, then you are involved. So play your position and help me shine this light on this evil. And that's what's happening right now. And once we can all comprehend that, folks, and then we will learn to play our position, and then it won't be a burden in life, folks. Teach, Chris. Teach, man. Teach. I love Chris. I love King. I love this dude, man. And
I stand firm as the blessing, as the answered prayer in someone's life. You know, we pray, and then we expect a supernatural answer to the prayer. No, each of us here are God's assistants. Think of yourself as a secretary for God. That's a new concept. I'm jotting down, taking notes for God. I'm making sure God's schedules are kept. I'm making sure God answers her calls. I'm God's secretary. And so when someone comes to the office, I meet them and say, hi, what can we do for you? Well, God, get me out of this. Anyone who's run a corporation knows that the CEO don't do no work. So always the secretary, always the manager, always that person who is not the power, the top, the lead. It's always that assistant, that secretary that handles the whole company while the CEO is off water skiing. He punches up, she punches up. Hey, how's everything going in the office? And of course, if you give a negative report, it's you that's fired. Y'all know it's you that's fired. The CEO says, well, you're not doing your job. What do you mean I'm not doing my job? These people are crazy. But what the CEO expects is for you to handle your business.
Now, folks, when I came to the YouTube world, that's how I was looking at this shit. I was like, troll. Yo, I was like a baby. I was like, troll? What the hell is a troll? I didn't know what the hell troll was and trolling. I'm like, yo, what the hell is wrong with you? That's why I was like, you people are crazy. Why you think I was saying coon so damn much? You guys are out of control. But God's like, yo, and you a person who can control it. I put you here to contain it. I put you there for a reason. You was chosen when you was born to handle this situation, because there's a situation inside that situation I need you to rectify. And only you can handle this, because everyone else is conformed to what it is. They are part of it. They love it. They helping it grow. They feeding it, fueling it, aiding it, seeking it, yearning it, loving it. And you, my son, you hate it. And that hate is love. See, that's deep. When hate is love. When the hate is love, the hate for all this goofy shit, the hate for all this hateful shit, the hate for all this envious shit, that's called love. And that's the higher power's love for us. He hates all this shit because he loves us that much. And this is the lesson. And so when you are put in life to actually be the gatekeeper, the groundskeeper, you are here to become the shepherd. Nothing can stop you. And if you allow people to deter you and to pull you off your course, you're going to get back on the course. But when you get put back on the course, you're getting put back on the course. Not easy, forcefully. You're going to have a lesson learned as you get back on that course, so that you know, stay the course. Stay the course. And that's why a Leonard Arnold, he didn't want to stay his course. That's why his life went so crazy. That's why he lost so much hair. He needs to have conversation with real men. But we're not talking about Leonard. We're going to talk about him a little later on. And this is about, like I say, this is all tied in as one, because it's all about black men. And Karis One is a master teacher because he's been through it. He's been through the rejection. He's been through the hardship. He's been through seeking knowledge and being by himself. So, and he's not speaking from a egotistical manner. He's talking from a love perspective. Umar learned from this man. You can tell they both, if I'm not mistaken, they both Leos. The way Umar carries himself, you can tell it was from a Karis One. The same way I seen Karis One come through the colleges and do lectures, I'm pretty sure Umar did too. And I'm pretty sure that Umar paid attention way more than I do and listened way more than I did. But he still didn't learn, because he didn't learn the one thing, which was love. I knew the answer was love from the jump. You guys left, so you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you go back to it, maybe I'll go back for you. I'll go back for you. Is it possible that Umar is serving that same purpose for you? I wish I could answer that, but I don't know what you are saying and how you mean what you said, because I don't know what I said that made you say that. So I can't really truly respond 100%. But is it possible that Umar is serving that? No, Umar is actually that Umar is the substance. He's the matter. actually, and to be honest, like I say, he's the matter that actually becomes something that I actually do need. So when you ask that question, is it possible that Umar is serving that same purpose for you? Yes, Umar is. Umar got into a higher level. Okay, this one, good question. Like I said, in life, you have to really realize your purpose, and the longer that you fight your purpose, you keep going backwards. But when you are in a position to actually shine a light and to be part of the leadership role, no matter how much you try to fall back and run away, think about like a movie. Let's say we watching a cowboy movie, a western, and you got this one dude. He's in the corner. He's just drinking shots after shots after shots. He's a drunk, and then they say, "Yo, he's a washed up pastor. He's a washed up minister." And he's trying not to be part of his purpose. I mean, something spooked him out of his purpose. He's not trying to be in this forefront no more. But no matter what, he has to be in the forefront. That's the situation we talk about. So what happens is it takes a situation, a matter, a substance to put you back at the top of where you're supposed to be so you can do things. So yes, Umar put himself in a position where he's head of the class, right? He put himself in that position. You guys help aid him. And so I'm in Umar's life. He's in my world because I have to get to the top so I can speak to the masses of people. It's just that simple. Like I say, in 2019, I didn't have no YouTube channel. 2020, I mean 2018, didn't have no YouTube channel. I mean, I set up. It's so crazy because for you to get on YouTube, I guess you do have to set up a channel. But I wasn't focusing on it as a channel. I was just trying to get on so I can watch YouTube. I didn't understand that once you do that, then you build a channel. I didn't know that. Most people ain't think about doing that shit. They ain't got time to be building channels or this silly stuff. They just watch. So I was just watching YouTube, but not knowing, like, yo, dude, you're watching this for no reason. You're supposed to be the one that people are watching and listening. And so through all my trials and tribulations, finally, God said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take everything from you, and I'm going to put you over there, and this man right here is going to do whatever he's going to do. And this is going to be the escalator that you need. It's a burden, right? Like he said, it's like a burden. But if you don't take it as a burden, don't look at a burden, you look at it as a blessing, it's a blessing. Since then, I had one channel knocked off. I had over 200 subscribers on there. Now I got 200 subscribers on here. I mean, I had people subscribe, they unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe. I had so many people do that. I had so many people hate on the channel, hate me, have love for me, respect for me. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Umar. And what do I mean by that? If Umar didn't need me in his life to check him, it would never have happened. I'm lying, but I want you to understand. It was going to happen no matter what, but how long it was going to take for me to wake up to start getting involved with technology. I stay away from technology. I don't like technology. So with that being said, Umar had to happen for me to get involved with technology, because me not involving myself with technology, I'm not lying to you folks. I am a Jeff Bezos, but I'm Don Murray, so I'm beyond the Jeff Bezos. But my purpose is to be well beyond him. And that's the facts. I started Amazon in 1998. I had the idea when I was with the organization African Stock Exchange, when I was developing things for the youth. I came up with that development. Angie List, I came up with that. It's a lot of things I came up with, folks. So where are we at with it, folks? As long as you have fear and you running from your destination, you cannot get there. Thanks, Joe. Great talk, Don. I'm going to catch the replay. Have a good day. No doubt, you too, man. You too. But oh damn, I'm not even. Yo, I hate when I'm not paying attention to the thing. You said you were serving as a blessing for Umar. I'm asking, is it possible that he's also a blessing for me? I'm sorry, I didn't. Before you, I wish I caught that before you left. Is Umar serving as a blessing for me? Nah, this is all about. This ain't. See, and I'm humbly sitting back and taking the time out to think about your question, bro. Let me even let you see my face. I gotta get back to Chris, but I want you to understand. I'm sitting here thinking about this man's question, and I had to tell Ghost from TCTV the other day, and I had to tell another person like, yo, Umar did something for you guys. That's why you have y'all certain type of respect and loyalty for it, because he did something for you folks. Umar didn't do anything for me. Umar should have did something, but he didn't. Umar could have been a blessing, but Umar chose not to be a blessing. So the only blessing that Umar is the blessing, like I say, to give me the strength to fight, to move myself to a certain high level. So I like I said, I try to keep it positive. So if that's the blessing, then I guess that's the blessing to give me the anger, give me the frustration, to give me the fuel and energy to get upset enough to fight to get to the top, so we can battle on the same playing grounds. So if that's a blessing, then yeah, I take that. Yeah, he came as a blessing. His ignorance was a blessing. His evil was a blessing. His wickedness was a blessing. Like I say, we don't have to take everything for a burden. I don't know. It's no burden. I know how to take the worst of worst and pull some juice out of it. But not in the way that we're talking. Not in the way that we're talking. Not at all. Okay, folks. Next time, come back around, Joe. I know it's early in the morning. Man, I was not expecting to do this live, but KRS-One was talking, and I had to listen. Let's get back to him. I want to finish up this video. It's not a long video. It's a part 2 to it. We got 5 more minutes, okay? 5 more minutes of Chris. I'm trying not to interrupt him again, all right?
You don't keep running back to the CEO. We got a problem. Your business. You don't keep running back to the CEO. We got a problem. We got a problem. No, you solve problems. And this is another level of spiritual thought that I'll give you today. Don't look for God to solve your problem. Solve God's problems. Take that in your heart today. It is empowering. When I decided to solve God's problems, my problems got solved. But when I waited on God to solve my problems, I was waiting and waiting and waiting.
They said to me last night, he says, hey, maybe you need to just put it, wait for God and put in God's hand. I'm like, dude, the age I'm in, don't think that I'm because of Umar. This no. This is beyond Umar. This is me been waiting on God to give me a sign for a long time. And like I said, this is the sign. And the man said, KRS-One said, Don't wait for God to solve your problems, solve God's problems. Everybody was sitting there quiet because their teaching is, God do this and God do that. But the way he's breaking it down, it's like, folks, stop trying to put your burdens of life all on your creator when you know that that's what you're here to do. You're here to solve these people, your brothers and sisters' problems. That's Kwanzaa. You understand? We are supposed to be here. Our purpose is, like he said, to do the work, not to keep running. Mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy, mommy, like little children. Our jobs is to go and do the work. The animals come to us, we take care of the animals. The babies come to us, we take care of the babies. Your peers come to one another, we take care of that. And when it's all said and done, we can't handle it, then that's when you start handling your problems and asking for the creator to help you out. But if you but if you're not trying to solve the creator's problems, your problems will never get solved. So if the creator's problems is that he has a person like Umar who needs to be checked, and you're not checking him, your problems in your world is going to keep growing because you're not doing your job for God. You're not checking this man when he told you to check him. You're not checking this man when he opened up your eyes to check him. That's what happened with me. He opened my eyes. I said, oh, I have to check him. I said, oh, I got to check him. And that's what's happening, folks. I told you before, this is my first time looking at this video, but I said this shit. It's not like I need Chris to talk to me. I said this to you folks. Now I'm hearing my man Chris tell me this, and Chris is older than me. So I'm hearing Chris tell me this as an older gentleman and let me know, bro, he's like, look, what you said to these people was just 100% facts. Now I need you to really start living by these words and don't be afraid. That's all I got. I got the confirmation. And I'm passing this confirmation to you so that you hear and you see that as I'm moving through these streets, I'm not hating on nobody. I'm not pocket watching. I'm actually solving God's problems. God has like I said, if you come across, if you come across me and if I enter your world, you enter my world. Most time I say if you enter my world, it's because you have to be dealt with. And if you really coming across me, I'm like the super duper dean of the world. I'm the super duper president of the planet. And that means if you come bothering me and making me have to do some work, then everything's just going to shake underneath you. The ground's going to shake. The rock's going to come tumbling down, and you're going to get buried. And when you get resurrected, you better do right. That's what happens when you come across me. I'm that wake up call. And if you don't learn, then there's a different lesson that your ass will learn. And I don't give a fuck when it happens. Do you understand? I actually wait for you to learn that lesson. I'll be like, oops, see, I knew it. Oops, see, I knew it. Ooh, he got me how many years in jail? Ooh, I knew it. Oh, so and so passed away. Oh, so and so was sick. I knew it. And all you folks out there, if I came across your mind and you knew that you should have did something, you could have done something and you didn't do something, but somewhere down in your road in your life, something really happened, don't think that it wasn't by design. It had to happen because you didn't do your job when your purpose came and when you was called. You got punished. It's corny ass dudes are saying, oh, Don think he's entitled. Oh, Don think he's entitled. I earned this entitlement. Like there's a dude, Philly OG. He be having this platform, and he be having people when they be talking, and people be respect all the time, and I'll be sitting back like, because like I say, Me, I'm no young kid. I'm a grown man, and as a grown man from the '80s, a grown man from the '70s. I was born in '70s, so a grown man from the '80s and the '90s. You're not going to tell me. I already know. Most people on these chat lines, most of these men, especially from jail, ex-prisoners, ex-cons, and I ain't talking about being in jail for like a little month or two. That's nothing. I'm talking about real niggas who got locked up, did 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years. Start reading some books. Start getting some knowledge of self. They already knew a little something, but when they went to jail, then they start realizing. They start being more vocal, start talking more, got a little more educated because they had nothing but time. Start reflecting on self and then start making changes for self. And then they come onto these YouTube streets and they try and glorify themselves. But all they was nothing but scumbags. And shout out to Phil OG for even acknowledging that's what he was. He'll come out and tell you that he was all about his just getting his money, cheating on women, smashing this, doing that. And so all something now, you got YouTube, you got internet, and you got people who can sit back behind the camera and sound intellectual because they fucking researchers. But did they ever do the work that when it was being transmitted to them through the real senses? Do they ever do the work? Did they ever do the work? Thanks, I am who I am. It's funny because Karis just said that. Matter of fact, Karis just said what your name said. So let me just play that real quick for you.
Just wait on God to solve my problems. I was waiting. Take that in your heart today. It is empowering. When I decided to solve God's problems, my problems got solved. But when I waited on God to solve my problems, no, you solve problems. And this is another level of spiritual thought that I'll give you today. Don't look for God to solve your problems. Solve God's problems. Take that in your heart today. It is empowering. When I decided to solve God's problems, my problems got solved. But when I waited on...
Oh, I am who I am. Sorry, my bad. But that was just, he said that right before you. Hold on, what you say? Sorry for the late. You good? Sorry for the late question. What is this about? Umar or Karis One? It's about both. Karis One is a master teacher. Karis One tried to teach us. Karis One tried to teach Umar. But Umar could not get the message because this is the message. I'm glad that you came on deck a little late because it allows me, because I was here by myself for a little bit, and a lot of people missed the beginning.
Who are anywhere today, right now as we speak, you chose to be here. You know, a lot of times we walk into the future and we look back on ourselves. They say hindsight is 20/20. We look back on ourselves and we say, wow, I was really blessed back then. But it's always in the future. When we're going through the blessing, we never see it.
I got you. Hold tight.
Being conscious has to do with being aware of your space and time. Right now, we are blessed. Right now, in this room, we are blessed. Turn to, let's hit Mark chapter 16, verse 15.
You ain't missed nothing.
Mark
He reached out
chapter
to him spiritually.
16, verse 15.
Stay on this.
When you're there, say namaskar.
Stay on here for like 1 minute. Come on, folks. Stay with me. Mark 16, verse 15. This ain't Bible, but
And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. In the Lamza, it says to all creation, I think, right? And he said unto them, go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. Go ye into all the world. Stop there. Go ye into all the world. I'm spiritual. You told me to get out of the world. Oh, here's the command right here. Go into the world, not into your church. Oh, man. Go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature, not every Christian. It didn't say preach to every Jew, preach to every Muslim. It didn't even say preach to every human being.
See the difference between the master teacher? Karis One is very loud. He's extremely loud. He don't need a mic, but he knows how to use his voice. He knows how to use his voice to keep the people captivated, not scare the living hell out of them, not scare Jesus out of them, but to keep them captivated. And at the same time, he knows how to make a point without trying to belittle the people. Even when he said, it says, go preach the world, not just the Christians, not just the Muslims. He didn't say it in the way of hate. Umar said things. I'm going to get to the Umar video right after this. But when Umar speaks to you, it don't sound charming. It sounds a little bit overbearing and hateful.
It said, preach the gospel to every creature. Now stop here. Just meditate on this now for a minute. We're told by Christ here to go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. What kind of gospel is that? If I'm supposed to go into the world and preach this gospel to every creature, or as the Lamza version says, all creation, that means the gospel is beyond words.
For those who wasn't here, like I say, people's researchers and orators, and they just about words, and so they have all the most fascinating words on the planet. But if their actions is not really behind those words, or in front of those words, or on the side of those words, they're just words. And most people, especially females, get moved by words. They like poetry. They like a guy who can make them laugh. They like a talkative person that can keep their minds just going. But a person who's ready to start doing, and that's when laziness kicks in. Because people like to be motivated, but they don't like to do. They like to have their brain cells pulsating, but they don't want to do.
That means that whatever the gospel is, a dog can understand it. A bird can understand it. An insect can understand. A lion can understand. Go preach the gospel to every creature. So we sat here and we thought about it. We said, well, what gospel would every creature in nature understand?
If he wasn't around, if you're not afraid, can you write in the comment section what you think the gospel is that he's speaking about? I am who I am. Hopefully you still here. Can you jot it down, Joe? Can you jot it down? You guys was brave enough to talk. What you think that gospel is that he's talking about?
The answer, love. A lot of people misinterpret that and they say, preach the gospel to every creature, and they pick up their book and start talking. It's not the instruction. The instruction says every creature. A dog understands a pat on the back. A cat understands a bowl of milk. A bird understands bread, seeds, care, compassion.
And Icy Gunn didn't get none of the above when he was at that man's school. He didn't get no bread. He didn't get no milk. He didn't get no honey. He didn't get a blanket. He didn't get some tissue, some toilet paper. He didn't get no water. But he sat back and said, you know what? I got the school. I got the keys. I ain't going to look too deep into all that. Although I'm got it in the front burner. It's all at the front burner. I'm taking it with a crooked smile. But I'm like, you know what, Father, what this is all about. And in that building, he was talking to me what it's all about. He was telling me that you have a purpose here. And I will reveal it to you real soon. And when I was one of those creatures that was not getting that love, I realized then what my purpose was. My purpose was to bring that love, that tough love, that respectful love, that motivational love, and bring it. And with Mark 16, verse 15, I'm going to live by that. I'm going to run with that, folks, because it's not about preaching the word and running around and just like doing what Umar do. Go city to city talking. But look, folks, on all his entire tour, what is he doing in regards to mobilizing, moving, staying in one spot, making sure that something is situated? Let's just say Texas got a high level of black young men and women, young boys and girls who's being incarcerated in school. And when I mean incarcerated in school, they are labeled as retards. They labeled that, and I'll use that word, retards. And they label as special ed, and they label as stupid. What state has the highest rate? You should know that off the jump. And why is it not he's out there stumping the yard out in that state, making a movement out in that state? Like if my whole movement is all about stopping the violence, we go out there, we be out there consistently on stopping the violence. If his movement is all about protecting these kids from being drugged up and all this stuff, where is his stomping ground and where is his platform the way people really say this is a headquarters on that movement itself? But just getting your little lecture book, gathering your little stuff to sell, your t-shirts, your little books and your buttons and shit like that, and going city to city, state to state, platform to platform, church to church, just to talk and collect, that's not love. That's actually even more hate itself. I hate talkative people who all they do is talk. If you watch all these lives, watch all these people lives, and look at all the hours they give you. 7 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours of nothing but pure talk. And then they'll go and do some researching. I'm looking at it right here. It's right here. Doing some research, talk, arguing, talk, arguing. And at the very end of that 8 hour, 6 hour, 4 hour live, there's no blueprint. And that's because, going back to what I was saying earlier before I got a little sidetracked, when I looked at the chat, that's all because majority of these men, and I'm gonna sound like Cynthia G, but I'm gonna do it. You can't. I'm man. I'm gonna get on us. You can't. Check your fucking women and check yourself. And check the babies. But the majority of these dudes was chasing that drug money, chasing the drugs, and chasing the ass. And don't come here now trying to kick that knowledge, because all you're doing is just talking. You're not doing no walking. Well, I'm doing this for my no. That don't count, because when you look at the burden of what you did and the destruction that you caused, you owe more than just your fucking family, because your family was probably part of that shit too. They reap benefits of what the fucking destruction that you did. Don't have me really start coming at all y'all cats. And this is real love. We can still chop it up. We can still spark it up. We still can be men. We can be friends. We can be brothers. But don't think that your brother's going to allow you to fucking be some old sucker nigga and move in this way. It's no time for that sucker nigga shit. And that's where we at. We got too many sucker niggas who get a platform. They know how to turn on the computer, sit right there, roll up some blunts, sip some wine, sip some alcohol, sip some liquor, and then talk. Know how to get on Google, do a bunch of research and learn some programs, and that's it. But then you say, okay, now it's time to hit the field. And they too high, too drunk, and too much chasing ass to be able to hit the field. They ain't even got time now to hit the field. It's no time to go into the office. It's no time to do God's work. So what they do is they say, fuck God, there's no God. There's no Jesus, because that's their way of not doing the work. Okay, folks? Because they research, they probably research more than you. They probably read more than you. And for them to say there is none, that's because they don't want to do their job. Whenever you hear a man start saying, oh, I don't believe in that, and I don't believe, that's because he don't want to do his work. He don't want to be held accountable for what he's supposed to be doing. He'd rather just go in the room, listen to some old stupid little youthful hip hop, and get high. If you don't like what I'm going to say about you, you can tap in, you can talk to me, we can conversate about this, you can call my phone, we can meet up, we can sip some coffee. We can drink a beer. We can put on some gloves. But at the very end, you're going to feel me. Because you know it's facts. Don't make me draw up a list of individuals. And I don't even have to know much about you. But don't make me draw up a list of individuals that I want to know about now. Who am I? I'm God's worker. I'm his supervisor. I'm coming in to start supervising. If you're talking nonsense, and like I said, all you researchers, I'm not a researcher. So salute to all the researchers. But for all you researchers who just know how to go on Google, fuck Google. We're going to do it old school style, like when you used to go to the library, you had to get the little card, and you had to go the index card, and you had to go pull up the index number, all that shit. Pull up some encyclopedias now. Get some encyclopedias, some old books. Get some encyclopedias and talk from that book. I don't want to talk from Google perspective. I want to talk from the old yellow page books, the pages of books that's all yellow and super hard. You touch it wrong, it might break. Let's start talking from those books. But I don't even want to talk from books. I want to talk from your mind now. I want to talk from the fact that something was talking to you. Let's talk about that. What was talking to you? What did it say? What information, what knowledge did it say do? What did it tell you to do? Because I'm tired of all your book smart, Googling, information war motherfuckers. That's and for all you folks out there that is constantly going to their channels to get those words. It's now time for you to say, hey, can we see some actions? I don't know. Not sure what the white man was thinking when he wrote that for KRS-One is trying to decipher. A lot of times I do better because I don't be looking at the chat all the time. So I might say something or, I won't be paying attention. And so I don't know what you be talking about. And I'll be like, damn, what you talking about? So anybody, you definitely come up. I said I was going to be too long, but I want to get into the Umar video so you can see as well. But what they say, I'm not sure what the white man was thinking when he wrote that for KRS-One is trying to decipher. Okay.
Understands bread, seeds, care, compassion, affection. Every creature understands love. So whatever the gospel is, it's not words. Whatever it is, go and preach the gospel. Obviously, this is some kind of an activity. Something we supposed to be doing. Doing. Be doers of the word. Be doers of the word. Love. When you decide to live spiritually minded, you will notice that you ain't got no choice. Love swells up in your heart. Matter of fact, some of the reasons why you choose to be spiritually minded is because you don't even understand yourself. You say, man, I have this feeling of just love. I mean, I like people. I want to, I'm always trying to help. Every time somebody got a problem, they calling me. Hello, somebody in here. You gonna go home right now, phone line. Message said, hey, I just wanted to call you to say, can you help? I need you to come and watch the kids. I need you to do it. Can you borrow some money? You guys are usually the ones helping somebody else. I got a witness in here.
So I don't know what white man wrote that for him, but you guys are really confusing me. And what I mean by that is like, I'm not even like, I'm trying to understand. Like, not sure what the white man was thinking when he wrote that for KRS-One. So KRS-One is a white man's philosopher. He's a white man's teacher. He's a protege from the white man, right? Okay. Who taught you that? This person said, I saw Umar's name and had to chime in. Okay, well, this is why you chimed in, because you've seen this, and this is what we're going to do for you. We're going to put this one up. I got a video for you. I don't know if you've seen this video. discuss the black church. Okay, so he's going to be talking and discussing. He's going to be talking, and this man, he's on the man's show. Let's see how he handles. Let's see how he handles himself on this man's show.
Honestly, I think what you, I hear you, and I think like when it's really
What deposits? They damn sure weaponizing our own money against us in the gentrification war.
you know what, honestly,
Look how he's sitting there, how he's looking at him. The anger you can see in his face, the frustration in his face. And it's like, what's the frustration and anger really about? I got to really cleanse that shit the hell out of me. Once again, like, he's frustrated and angry. You just made some money in the church. The church just blessed you with some of their money, hard-earned money. But let's let him talk, okay?
I think what you, I hear you, and I think like when it's really
What did Dr. King say? What good is fighting for the right for a black man to have a burger at the lunch counter if he can't even afford it? Half the black men in America are unemployed. Why, brother? They can't find work.
I don't know why that commercial came right then, because I was about to go ham.
So you mean to tell me you got churches with millions of dollars, and collectively there's no city whose church deposits don't number in the tens of millions? No city, right? How can you not be putting black men to work? The unemployment and underemployment of black men is one of the leading contributors to the destruction of the black family.
Okay. So now, you want to get into Umar Johnson. We taught KRS One, and KRS One lecture was about love. And this man is a lecturer right now. Let's talk about the black church and making tens of millions of dollars and not employing no black men. I'll tell you like this. I worked at the church. I received a check from the church. One of the little boys in my neighborhood, he was a bad boy. His mom went to church, and she sat with him and some men in the church, and they found some job. They found some work in the church. Okay, and my little Daryl. Okay, his name is Daryl. Okay, Daryl. And so Daryl was working there, and Daryl was still, a product of the streets. Daryl was a product of really. He was a good kid, but he just a product of the street, because that's what it is. When all your friends are just a product of the street, and these your friends, next thing you know, you product. And so that was doing really good. I was actually super duper proud of him. I was like, yo, you really working here. I was like, wow. And so as Daryl was working in the church, okay, Umar said, not employing people. Daryl was working in church. People started hating on Daryl because Daryl's life was really changing. All the time that normally when he's out there drinking and smoking with the boys in the park, they still there, but he's not there. Daryl's in the church. And guess who's now coming by the church? Okay, because Daryl's in the church. But guess who's now coming up in the church doors? Oh, he's coming to church. Oh, no doubt. Oh, what? Look at all these boys now going inside the church. They wasn't going in the church before Daryl was there, but now Daryl's in the church, and the church is employing him. Now these boys are coming there, instead of them going across the street to a store and getting sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches for on Sunday. They come into the church and buying food because Daryl's in the church. So Umar, you say they not employing? No, stop complaining about what not happening and get involved with what's happening. Umar needs to stop complaining about everything that he think is not happening. So let me change it. Everything that he believes is not happening. And get involved with the things that are happening and expand those things, and stop talking about black people like you're the white man. Because if you're not talking about us in a positive manner of all the things that we are accomplishing and getting done, and always talking about from a hateful perspective, you're never, ever going to grow, because you don't deserve it. At the very end, what happened with Daryl is one day I was I was there and I seen this dude come by, and he walked by me. I was like, "Yo, what up?" And he kind of acknowledged me real quick, but I could see that something was wrong. Then he walked by again. I was like, "Yo, what up, man?" And he's like, "Yo, no, we just didn't see Daryl in a minute." Then come to find out, Daryl gets shot. Daryl got killed. Daryl got shot in the car, shot in his head by his friend, and his friend was just jealous of Daryl. Now he could have shot Daryl when Daryl was in the streets and doing whatever, all this other stuff. But why are you going to why are you going to kill Daryl now that Daryl's in the church and now that Daryl's collecting the check from the church and slowly moving towards getting his life together? Why did you have to kill Daryl now? Rest in peace to my man, Little Man, yo. That's what we call him, Little Man. I knew Daryl when he was in his mother's stomach. I knew all her children when they was in the stomach. And that bothers me. So for this man to sit here and say the church, all this money, they not employing men. What church you go to, nigga? Look, and once again, folks, I'm a person who like to put the telescope and the microscope in front of certain things, but I can tell you that there's not a church that I know of that don't have a black man employed. They not asking these black men for a volunteer. They employ them. They not asking them to donate their time. They employ them. And they ask them to donate their time for a cause. They don't ask them to come and donate their time of cleaning the church, cleaning the toilet bowls. No, they employ you. They want you to donate your time when it comes to event and just being part of certain things, energy and resources, but not to putting the chairs up and taking the chairs down. We do that just off the strength. We do that just because we know that's what we're supposed to do. How we look leaving an event, and it was like 400 people there, and you have all these folding chairs there, and we as men just walk away without grabbing the chair and putting it up. That's common sense, nigga. So we do those things off the strength. Umar wouldn't. Okay. Umar would find ways to talk to this person, talk to that person all the way out the door and not pick up one chair and move it. But then he would, then a sister would be like, "Come on, man, we gotta get the chair." Then he'd be a loudmouth ASAP. "Yeah, man, we got," as he was trying to get out the door. "Come on, before y'all leave, grab these chairs." No, nigga. Why ain't you lead by example? Why she had this mentioning thing? She probably said that because she saw your ass not grabbing the chair. And she was humbly talking to you. No, Umar. The church do employ black men. The church of old had more believers. The church of old was more. You gotta understand, man, the world is different. The world with this technology, it's hard for anything to be real. It's hard for anything to be genuine anymore. But what I do say is that there's no way in life that you're going to tell me that this church don't employ people, especially men. Because in the last 15 years, they realized that's what they have to do. And when President Bush came in and did that, it made the all, went underneath that one nonprofit tax code. When they gave all the churches their little 501c3 status, they had more money to do things. So you best believe they was throwing that money around like, "Yo, employ him. I made me some money with the church. Matter of fact, time the fuck out. I remember when I was working in the church when I was 15. When you talk about the church don't employ men, me, my boy Rashid, my boy Josh, we all was working in the church. And then they didn't even have space for me. They didn't even have room for me. So I was one that wasn't going to get the job. And then my boy went inside and had a meeting with the director. He said, "Yo, I would give my man half my check if you allow him to work." He said, "Nah, but it's okay. He can take half my check. I just want my boy to work." They thought that was so beautiful that they made a position for me. That was the summer camp. So how dare him say that the church do not employ black men? See, that's a spell that he's trying to cast on you folks. For you folks to be like, yeah, the church, before you start agreeing, sit back and really ask yourself, is he 100% correct? Is he 50% correct? 40% correct? No, he's only 20% correct. The church employs black men. I know the music director, he got paid. We had 2 music directors. They both got checks. You saying that wasn't employment? I know the van drivers, they get checks. I know the dude who cleaned the building, he gets checks. What are you talking about? That was just 4 jobs right there. I had a job, that's 5 jobs right there. Marlon had a job, that's 6 jobs right there. The church I'm talking about itself, and this is the same church I put on blast now. The same church I put on blast is the same church I'm thinking about. Employ about like 15 to 20 men. What is he talking about? Don't listen to these spell casters. And like I said, I'm not in complete defense of something. Can't agree with me with some of what? I can agree with you on some of that, but then you say I can't agree with you on some of that. Some of what? Me saying the church that because Umar was talking about the church, all these millions of dollars, and the church don't do anything. And I was saying actually, the church employs more people than you can really imagine. Especially if you are on the inside, you realize that the church employs a lot of people. What do you call those meetings that the church be having when they be discussing the budget and everything? The pastor had me one day, it was after service, and the pastor, I was about to leave, and the pastor said, no, I want you to stay for this. And he had me sit there and listen to everything, to see all the way the finances is moved. And this is the same church I put on blast. And to be honest, this is after I put the church on blast. I went back to the church for something, and he wanted me to sit in the meeting because he wanted me to see. This is after I put the church on blast, years later. So where we at right now? We can't keep allowing people to put spells on us to have a certain level of hate. Look at his posture. Look at his face. That's a man of hate. And once again, I mean, I live in Philly, and there's a lot of Muslim folks out here. And Philly has the high murder rate. I'm trying to understand, like, do Muslims really focus on physical activity and focus on a certain level of like hate and focus on a certain level of a fighting spirit? War, because he's a Muslim. Umar Johnson is Muslim, who's researching and studying Ifa, but he's a Muslim. And I want to know why there's so much fire in Muslims. Where's the real love in Muslims? Who the hell's bothering me? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
This is Andrea on a recorded line. Can you hear me okay?
I'm going to let you know I don't have a car, though.
What was that?
I don't have a car, Andrea.
No problem. Goodbye. Bye-bye.
All right.
You want to save the black family? Get these men jobs. Why do you think so few black men go to church? I just saw an article the other day. Black men are leaving church.
Yeah.
Black men are. You
Yeah.
know why? Because there's no opportunity in here for me. Get me a job. I'll come to church every day. But
He said there's no opportunity for them in church. Yo, what is church? Oh man, I might have to Google it real quick today, right now. What is church? What is church supposed to be about? Okay, what is the FDMG mission statement? The FDMG mission statement is to educate young black boys and in the study of African studies and this, that. What's the mission of the church? To bring spirits closer to God. Now, if you're not involved with the church because they don't have a job for you, that's not their role. If you're not getting involved with the church, that's not their mission. If you're not getting to church because they don't have no investments for you, that's not the mission. If you're not getting involved with the church because they don't have enough women up in there who's naked, that's not their mission. That's called the strip club. This is called church. Oh well, the church in every community, every city raises at least $10 million, and so they should do what? Give it to you? The challenge is now for us to figure out ways to make them spend the money, I guess. But is it to sit there and constantly bash them when you using their platforms to raise money, when you're using the platforms to make money, when you're using their platforms to try to send black men to jail? I'm lost. So I don't know what he's talking about. The black church do not employ black men. Matter of fact, I'm gonna use Google. What is the employment rate in the church? Oh, got something nice here for you, folks. Got something nice here for you. I'm pretty sure no one ever seen this stat. We always talk about it, but I'm pretty much sure that nobody really checked on this stat. How many employees does the average church have? The ratio of attendance to full-time equivalent FTE staff among churches span a wide range from 15 to 150 or more. However, the majority of churches have a ratio between 30 or 65 people for every one full-time equivalent employee. Explore the chart to learn more. Okay. How many staff members should your church have? I don't know. See, I don't know, but I'm just looking. So they saying it should be the rate. It should be accordingly to the ratio of how many people you have in your church. Several surveys from mid 2010s found the average ratio of between 77 and 73 churches attendance for every one full-time staff member. Okay, so if they have, let's say 75, that's 150, 450, 600. So if they have like 600 members, they should have at least like 4 to 5 full-time staff members there working. Okay, and then I'm thinking about inside the office. There was one dude, one female, two. Three. It was like 4 people working inside the office, working in the office, getting a check. The church alone that I know of had at least like they employed at least 15 to 25 to maybe 30 people, and their congregations maybe 500 to 1,000 strong. Allen AME, their congregation was at least like 14,000 members. They I'm pretty sure they had employment of at least. So I knew several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't count how many that was employed there. Not volunteer, employed. So this right here, I throw that shit out the window. That's not a spell I'm gonna engage with, folks. Oh, the black church don't employ people. I would be completely lying if I say those words. But Umar's a compulsive liar, so it's easy for him to say these words because he's a liar. He has no problem lying. So to lie the way he lies, it's easy to be a spellcaster. One requirement for you to be a spellcaster, you have to be a liar, a compulsive liar, a liar who don't even care. That's the number one rule of being you have to be a liar. And Umar is a liar. You play this for a little bit.
Don't expect me to come here and pray and act like everything is everything, and I got to go home and ski mask up to feed my babies because the black church is no longer a place of economic empowerment.
Wow. You know what? Honestly, like I do hear
everything is everything, and I got to go home and ski mask up to feed my babies because the black church is no longer a place of economic empowerment.
Wow. Did you say the black church is no longer a place for economic empowerment? So I would come to church, pray, and then I would ski mask, and I was robbed for my family because the black church. See, he don't just say the church. He say the black church. If it's church, it's church. So what do he know about the white church that he can talk just about the black church, but not incorporate with church itself? So the white church, they do differently, huh? The Chinese church, they do differently, huh? They employ their people. That's what you're saying? So it's church, it's one God, one aim, one destiny. One God, one aim, one destiny. So join the white church. Same God, right? Black God, right? Black Jesus, right? So you can, if they have a better ratio of employing people, join their congregation. But you can't say that the church. We want to say the black church don't do that. The black church don't do that. Black men don't do this. Black men do an incomplete job. Black men's not good contractors. Black men don't do this. Black man is this. Black men do this. Black women do that. Where's his love? You won't hear no love on this dialogue. You can go check this video out yourselves, folks. There's no love on this shit. Like I said, Karis One tried to teach the man. He tried.
and it's a black church. how should that church restructure itself so that it could better serve the community?
3 things every church should have.
Okay.
A bank. If not a bank outright, start a credit union. You can start a credit union with $250,000.
So right there is what the video I was talking about last night. When Umar was trying to make it build, get the school up and going, and when he got shut down by GoFundMe, why didn't he start moving on the fact that, let me reach out to 10 churches, and I got this amount of money right here. It only take $250,000 to organize a bank. We got the meeting of the churches. Let's figure out how we can open up a bank. I already have $125,000. I'm trying to open up a school, build a school. This is my credentials. Who can help me of raising this money? Who can help me open a bank? Because this is the number one thing that we as a church need. That's what he thinks. The number one thing that the church needs to better serve a community is stronger faith in God. Meaning that they don't tolerate and allow certain things just to come and manipulate the people to deter the men from the church. The reason let me tell you something. It's not that I don't go to church because there's no employment opportunities at the church. That's not the first thing I'm thinking about. Oh, I wonder if this church can employ me. I'm gonna go up in this church because I want to get a job. I'm not thinking that. I'm looking at what type of Jezebels is there. I'm looking at is the choir director fruity. I'm looking at, is your main secretary a dyke? So I'm not, the first thing with me is not, we need to have a bank system in the church. The first thing is that we need to really have a true God system in our church. That's what's really going to reach out to the community. That's what's going to be able to galvanize the men. That's the reason why Pastor Darby and Pastor Gino has more men in their congregation than women. Because they stand firm on the word. They stand firm on the beliefs. They don't sway, they don't slide this way, because they're trying to get money from the women. So for him to say that the first thing that the church needs to have, shut the fuck up. To better. Okay, let me help you out again so you can hear the question.
Serve the community.
3 things.
Tithes and donations, right? And it's a black church. How should that church restructure itself so that it could better serve the community?
3 things every church should have.
How should the church restructure itself so it can better serve the community? It don't have to restructure itself. It just got to go by what that word say.
Okay.
A bank. If not a bank outright, start a credit union. You can start a credit union with $250,000. Provide access to capital so Black people can grow their own businesses. As you know, we're living at a time where we are witnessing the genocide and extinction of the 9 to 5.
Oh, this is very important what he's about to say, because he's about to tell you folks why he's scamming you right here. Okay, this video right here, he tells himself right here, right now, he's about to tell you what he's doing, why he's doing it. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Let me rewind. But if you go into a church because you're trying to, it's all about economic gains and things like that, that's where you already go wrong. And I think I moved like that. I think that I moved in a way that, I wanted to get involved with the church because I had something that, I had my program I wanted to bring there. So it wasn't that I wanted to get closer to God. I wanted to get my economics on. And so I guess, I can't say that with this church because I was involved. You know what I'm saying? I was heavily involved. I mean, I was doing my part. So when I do present something, especially when you appoint me like you're part of the youth council, and you point me, and there's only 1 or 2 people there, and that means makes me a leader of the youth council. But then you're not doing what I'm asking, or even looking at what I'm asking, because you want me to keep you trying to study or nigga, you know me since I was 15. Don't do that. You already know me since I was 15. You know how we get down. We put the church on blast when we was 15. That story didn't end. You know, they owed me. The church owed us some money. We went to the head of the Presbyterian church. We went to the head of that shit. We went to the head department. We was demanding our money. That's what the church do. So shit. But Umar's about to tell himself right here.
So black people can grow their own businesses. As you know, we're living at a time where we are witnessing the genocide and extinction of the 9-to-5 40-hour job. There's going to be no jobs in America. You're going to have to make one. We're going to have to go into business for ourselves. The black bank needs to be empowering black people.
So right now, he's making his job on your backs. He's making his job by asking you for donations to create a job for him. I'm asking you folks to, hey, support this. You know, you can invest in that, put together an investment plan, whatever. If you would like to donate, cool, but this was going to go towards, and boom, boom, boom. I just had a meeting yesterday with 5 kids. Yo, look, this is so much pressure on me. They are so ready. Our young kids that want to work, they want to do something.
To start their own businesses. If you are not talking about economic empowerment, don't talk to me about God. Because the crime in our community, the devil's work, is being carried out by unemployed black men. If you are not talking about economic empowerment, don't talk to me about God. Because the crime in our community, the devil's work, is being carried out by unemployed black men. If you are not talking about economic empowerment, don't talk to me about God. Because the crime in our community, the devil's work, is being carried out by unemployed black men. The devil's work is being carried out by unemployed black women. The devil's work is being carried out by unemployed black youth. So
guess what, Umar? Should I do some of the devil's work by taking you off this planet? Because, like you said, don't talk to me about God if you're not talking about economics. If you're not talking about economics, don't talk to me about God. Because the devil work is being done by those who's unemployed. So, Umar, if I come out there and I take you off this planet, we can blame it on what you just said. The devil's work is being done because people are suffering economically. People are unemployed, so they do the devil's work. They put the ski mask on after they left the church. That's what you said. They go and seek those people who owe them so that they can take care of their bills. I owe a lady some rent. I would like to get. I owe her some money. I would like to give her some money. I'm tired of kicking my butt all over the planet trying to scrape up a few dollars when I already have some money sitting that is mine. I would like to give that to her so she can have her money and take care of her situation. It's a domino effect. So if, like Freeway say, when the teeth start smiling and you know the words. I don't quote too much rap shit. But what he's saying, I'm gonna rob me a person. I'm not gonna rob you. I'm just gonna get what I am owed. And right now, she's not happy. She wants her money. I need my money, Umar. I gotta make sure that this lady's happy. Because if she's not happy, then I'm not happy. If I'm not happy, you're not gonna be happy. And any and everybody that's in your circle and cipher is not gonna be fucking happy. And they're gonna think about me the next day. I'm gonna be resonating on the front of their mind. You call that doing the devil's work? I call it doing God's work, because sometimes God needs some people to clean up the dirty work. And so going back to what I say, he really in the last 15 years knew, because like I said, there was a woman in New York City, and my man even said, you know, she's has some old fake bullcrap youth program, and she gets all these millions of dollars to her. It's all about preventing the violence. It's all about spreading peace. This bitch ain't nothing about that shit. She reminds me of a Umar Johnson, just a woman, loud, tall, and just loud, manly. And at the very end, a fraud. And what she did was she knew that she was reaching. I remember when she was reaching the age of 40 something. I know her for a long time. She was like it was like that. You talk about midlife crisis, and she was like, "Damn, man, I'm working at this airport, and I know I'm supposed to be doing big things in the community because people wanted, they feel they claim themselves in a certain spot." And so she had to step on. Yo, look, I had to move out her way because I was like, "Yo, look, I'm not the one woman." So I moved out her way because I saw Jezebel moving. Like, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't want to walk side by side with you. I want to compete with you. Go ahead. And I guarantee you at the very end, you're going to fail, meaning that you're not going to accomplish much. I get phone calls from her peoples calling me up out of nowhere saying, yo, she is a fraud. Yo, she did me dirty. I'm like, wow. I don't even know this woman. She called me out of nowhere and told me this shit. But the bottom line is, they not doing the work. They front because they just wanted to create a job. The reason why he's not doing no work is because he's not designing himself to do work. He's just designing himself to be creating a job for himself. He made it where his job right now is to save the children, and we have to help him do his job. And not one time is he sitting in the classroom teaching, educating, giving tests, and having a staff to check these tests and call these parents up and have PTA meetings. None of that's going on. But you created a job for him, and the job that you created is for him to be able to peacefully, comfortably travel, to talk. That's the job he has. For the last 15 years, you employed him as an orator. You employed him as a researcher orator. And he hooks you with a message of he's here to save these fucking kids. But all he did was create a job for himself because he saw down the road. And I saw it in 2000. I saw it in 1999. I saw it in 1997 that I was going to have to create an employment for myself. I didn't just start. I've been started. When I was in college, I was sitting in the classes. I said, yo, I want to be an entrepreneur. So I already know I got to create for myself. I was selling weed in college. So I already was businessman. Okay. So for him to say, but he's saying right here, and let me rewind so you can hear it.
Is being carried out by unemployed, the 9-to-5, 40-hour job. So Black people can grow their own businesses. As you know, we're living at a time where we are witnessing the genocide and extinction of the 9-to-5, 40-hour job.
He's saying that in 2023, like it's what? Damn, you serious? And all you little knucklehead dumb motherfuckers who can't see for yourself will be like, wow, yo, Dr. Umar said that right now we witnessing the genocide of the 9-to-5 and we ain't gonna have no employment, so we gotta create our own jobs. I'm like, yo, I've been teaching the young people that since 1997. I said that the adults will be working for you folks. The adults will be doing youthful jobs. The same errand jobs that we have for the program and the same delivery jobs that we have will be the jobs that the parents will be running to because they won't really have a future because they're not preparing for the future. And the future is basically being an entrepreneur because everything's about to be snatched away. Why? Because they spoke about AI. Why? Because they spoke about technology. Why? Because they are moving forward with computers so they don't need you niggers. Once you understand, it's all about making sure that you, because we always the last on everything. We last with getting on this internet shit. We the last on getting on these waves. So because we always the last, we get the crumbs. And once we get the crumbs, it's to make sure that there's not that much crumbs for us. But I've seen that shit. I knew that shit because, like I say, I'm from a different teaching. I grew up underneath the African Stock Exchange Association Development Corporation. I grew up underneath my father. If you didn't grow up underneath your father and he ain't pass you no words of wisdom, you lost it right there. But if you did grow up, your father, he passed you some word of wisdom. Like Q brother said that his father said, yo, I'm not letting you go into no damn military. Probably the best thing that his father did for him. It's time to wake up, folks. Umar is no master teacher. He's just a well-read person and a researcher and an orator. But when you listen to what he's saying, it's nothing but is heavily debatable. And it's not for us to always debate everything, but it's just that when he speaks, it's just heavily debatable because, like I say, there's not one church that I know out here that's not employing some man. And if you are going to church because you just looking for a job, then go to McDonald's because that's where you go to get a job. You don't go to church to get a job. You go to church to get God. So Umar, whenever you finish being afraid, if you want to have a real conversation, you have a conversation with me. There's no man on the planet right now that Umar should be sitting down one-on-one with and having a conversation with on like the only person he has to have a conversation with is me. And we ain't talk about where's my money. We talk about the real conversation. Because we got to stop casting spells amongst these people, to these people, but we have to start casting solutions. So as long as this man alive and talking, until he sit down with me and we have that conversation so the masses can hear, so the masses can understand where we at with it, so the masses can get their minds right. Until that happens, all he's doing is just casting spells on you for you to hate something, whether it's hate yourself, whether it's hate white people, whether it's hate the church, whether it's hate the system, but it's always to hate something.
There's going to be no jobs in America. You're going to have to make one. We're going to have to go into business for ourselves. The Black Bank needs to be empowering Black people to start their own businesses. If you are not talking about economic empowerment, don't talk to me about God. Because the crime in our community, the devil's work is being carried out by unemployed Black men. The devil's work is being carried out.
If we are doing God's work, we don't need no jobs. My Lord, if we're doing God's work, we don't even need no employees because everybody just knows their role and everybody's going to be able to eat. And those who do more God's work, they just eat more. But everyone will eat once we start doing God's work.
By unemployed Black women. The devil's work is being carried out by unemployed Black youth. So if you care about limiting the spread of evil, you have to economically empower people. Because contrary to popular belief, money is not the root of all evil. Not having no damn money is the root of all evil. When you walk out of here today, you're not scared of millionaires. You're worrying about little Mike, and Tay who ain't got no way to eat, and whether they're gonna have to ski mask and pull a gun out on you because the black church isn't doing anything to give them an opportunity to earn a decent, livable wage. Where's the economic empowerment? That's one. Number two.
And Daryl was the ski mask dude. Daryl was the person that put the ski mask on, but the church gave the ski mask a job. The church was saving that man's soul, saving that man, saving him, saving little Daryl. He's lying, folks. I don't believe him. And like I say, I'm not the Bible reading, church going, Sunday school, Bible study person. No. I'm just a person who has 2 ears to hear and not hear, 2 eyes to see, not see, and a mouth to open up and speak and not speak. When I see what I hear, what I see, and I can say what I say because I mean what I mean, because I know what I know, because it is what it is. That's called power. That's called believing. That's called faith. I'm not allowing this man to cast the spell on me. Karis One actually needs to address Umar Johnson. Like a lot of people who's, but the reason why I'm gonna tell you the reason why a lot of these folks don't want to address Umar Johnson, because they know that if they address Umar Johnson, say Umar Johnson name, then it means now he's want to run with that and make a platform from that. Nobody got time for that. They just need you to get the message. They not trying to, like a Tahaka Bay and Honeycomb says, like, who's Tahaka? Like, what the hell is this all about? Like, what is he doing? And you said my name. You said my name. Do you know how many people was coming to me, hit me on my phone? Yo, Max V's on live right now talking about you. I'm like, so why are you calling me? Because he's talking about you. You need to go over there and speak for yourself. I'm like, let him talk. Anti Spengali, she made a video. You need to check this video out. She talking about you. Like, what did she possibly talk about me? What the fuck? I'm good. No, I'm gonna send you the link. Look at the video. I'm good. Yo, did you hear what this person said? Yo, you heard this person say, oh, this person said that. So, but you have these coon ass niggas who jump and they run with that shit because it's some content, it's views, and hopefully they can get a few dollar donations for responding and giving you the goofy shit. This is severe. Like he said, he's trying to create his own job. So where we at with this, folks? Let me just go. I'm just skimming through. I'm skimming through. I'm just really skimming through. Oh man.
Whoa, new ride? Yep, we're cruising in style with Verizon Home Internet. Got it for just $20.
Look at even in the times of Jim Crow, many of the leaders in the black church had leadership positions while being subservient in working society. To some degree.
No, I agree with you. Early black Christianity, especially coming here out of Philadelphia, when you look at Absalom Jones,
yeah,
you look at Richard Allen, who protested against white church because they were not allowed to pray in the pulpit with white people. They were relegated to the back, so they walked out. And
I think just hitting on the point of, hey, there's money here, there's resources here, there's people here, there's organization. We could take that and better allocate it. When you say the church, you're pretty much saying, look, they may be doing something, but from your peer view, and I would agree, it's probably not enough, and there's an opportunity to do more.
Absolutely.
Agreed. And so it's interesting though, right? Because when putting as a member of the church, right? I think there's a perspective of prioritizing the faith in itself, right? Because if you think about it, as a spiritual leader, my perspective is if I can connect you with God, I may not be the forefront leader of the nonprofit that leads in education, but by connecting you with God and connecting you with your full purpose, you now are equipped through that process to then do that for your community. And I
want to
think
push back on
no,
that.
but I'm not even.
I don't disagree.
I'm not justifying that as like
Okay.
the right approach per se, because
See, this guy is sad because he's talked to Umar, but he's given Umar a little bit too much respect in regards to like not just standing strong what he's speaking, because what he's saying, what he just now said was extremely powerful. I'm gonna rewind it, but I want him to finish this point. But watch how Umar tried to chop what he just said down, even though he don't agree, but he just still want to chop it down and build it to what Umar wants to make it. Let's see.
Because that has often been the excuse used for why churches don't play a more direct role in the struggle. So you take me. I'm a certified school psychologist.
as like the right approach per se, because
that has often been the excuse used for why churches don't play a more direct role in the struggle. So you take me. I'm a certified school psychologist.
Yes.
You're having issues with your son.
Yes.
They want to label him autistic, LD, ADHD, ED, whatever the case may be, right?
Yes.
So I say to you, you say, Doc, can you go with me to the meeting?
Mm-hmm.
I say, you know what? I can't go with you to the meeting, but I'm going to equip you with everything that you can, that you will need in order to be successful in the meeting, which I do that because I can't be everywhere at all times.
All right.
But if you say, hey, we got to protest the government against the way in which Black kids are being over-identified, I'm in the front of that. I'm forefront in that. You understand me?
Yeah.
I cannot lead from the back. I cannot say I'm going to tell y'all everything wrong with the American white power structure and then myself not participate in that actual fight to transform the American white power structure. So when the church says, I'm not going to fight, but I'm going to equip my flock so that they can take up that fight, that's somewhat cowardly. You should be equipping them and preparing them. That's important. But what is your role in that fight? Every religious personality in history, I don't care if we deal with Moses, Jesus, Abraham, I don't care if we deal with Muhammad, I don't care if we come into contemporary times and deal with a Mahatma Gandhi, who was a racist, or Dr. King, a Malcolm X, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Marcus Garvey. Any leader who professed a faith, if he was sincere in his faith, automatically became politically relevant. Jesus, by virtue of his work, automatically came to the attention of the government. You couldn't keep him out of it. Because if I'm fighting for people, I have to take on the enemies of my people. Dr. King automatically became.
Like I said, he's just words. Because what is his views on the political structure itself? What is his views on politicians? What is his views on voting? What is his views on really? He don't really have none. He's like, he don't involve himself with the white political structure. So for him to say that all the leaders, once they, step out there, they step to the forefront, and they deal with the political issues. What political issue for Black folks did he really step out and be the forefront on? Was education and with the whole conception of these babies and Adderall and all that other shit. So stay in your lane and just stay on that and focus. All this talking about the church, all this talk about that has no relevance. Only thing that do is hurt you. If you're forefronting all about the children and fighting the system, the political system that's trying to drug up these children, these Black children, stay on that 1,000%. Don't say that you're a community lead. Don't say that you're the world's number one orator, the most requested. Don't. We don't need none of that. We just need you to be able to organize a march like Al Sharpton, so we can come out there and march against the drug abuse from the system. Okay. When did Umar Johnson ever lead a march on the struggle? On that note, thank y'all for your listening ear, your support. Have a good day. When did Umar Johnson lead the march on the prison, the school to prison pipeline? Like I said, when did he organize it? When did he lead it? A march on school to prison pipeline. Why we don't have the school the prison pipeline annual marches, city to city, because he's a weak black man who just talks. All these women can organize these women marches. They can go out there and organize and like a Tamika Mallory. I'm gonna use this chick name again. And trust me, I'm not that big of a fan because, like I said, she's too flamboyant for me. She be having fur coats on and high heels and trying to lead march. No. If you ain't got no steel toe boots on and a flight jacket, motherfucker, you ain't saying shit to me. If you ain't got that flight jacket on and a hoodie underneath that bitch, some long johns and the goddamn steel toe boots, I'm gonna walk across the street. But yet and still, you can look at lists of marches that she led. I'm not saying I'm supportive of all of them, but I'm just gonna say that she led some marches. Where are the marches by Umar Johnson that he led on the school to prison pipeline, the educational breakdown of the drugs? You know what I'm saying? The educational breakdown of the drug abuse. You know what I'm saying? Where's those marches that he is headline? Is, you know what I'm saying, that he can say donate to my annual march that we like? They have the autism march, the march for autism. Where's the march for cancer? Where's his march? Where's his protest? Like you said, if you got something going, I'm gonna be front line, and then I'm trying to take it over, and I'm gonna lead it. You can only lead what you start. How you gonna go and lead someone else's shit? It's so hard to get off a live because when you're talking, things just come back to your mind and you gotta keep going. But I ain't gonna lie, I gotta get up out of here because I got something to do. It's 10:31, and I gotta do some traveling. 11, 12. I probably can get back by 1:30, hopefully. I really don't feel like going. I honestly was going to go like 7:30 in the morning. That's why I was already dressed, washed, everything. But I saw that KRS-One shit and I went live. So if I did entertain you a little bit for this morning, and like I say, entertainment is not like, oh, just entertain. Entertainment is reading. Entertainment is conversing. Entertaining is having conversation, having a meeting. That's entertaining. If I entertained you folks, we do need a little bit of help and support every day, because every day is something that we need to do that's not really part of the agenda. And like I say, this is on the bigger level, folks. This ain't on just my behalf. This is on the bigger level behalf. So if there's anyone who would like to help and support, you can hit that right there. You can support by all means. I dropped the link. I wish people would have came and spit what they had to spit. I'm spitting all on the mic right now, spitting my fire. You could have spit your flames. But like I say, folks, it's time for us to stop casting spells and making people hate certain things and look at certain things sideways. Look at yourself in the mirror. You're going to see that one eye is bigger than the other. Look at yourself in the mirror. You're going to see that one side of you is a lie and one side is the truth. And then you're going to have to decide which side you're going to lead by. One side of you is a liar, the other side is the truth. Which side are you going to lead by? That's you, not me. Thank you for your listening ear, your support. Have a beautiful.
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously. Why?
Peace. Like I say, tune in a little later on. My later on is going to be exclusive, folks, and this might be the last live for the next month or so. No, I think I have to do one last live outside that, because I think I really have to call out these black men, because there's no one else that's going to call them out. And I ain't going on some corners. I'm calling them out because the same way H. Rap Brown and Stokely Carmichael and the other gentlemen that all came together and they had a meeting, we have to have that meeting, folks, because there's too much going on, and too many of us is just caught up with the nonsense and bullshit that we are not focused on. It's time to protect the block. Thank y'all for your listening and your support. Peace.